We welcome you into Week 9 of the Ken Sparks Show. Carson-Newman celebrates homecoming in style with a 39-25 victory over the Limestone Saints. Hello, everyone. I'm the voice of the Eagles Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Ken Sparks. Ken, what a day of celebration on homecoming. Not just homecoming, so much going on. Senior Day, the reunion of the 96 team that made the NCAA national title. Parents' Day, Hall of Fame induction ceremony. You send Mike Clowney and Cedric Killings in.
Perfect.
I feel like I'm missing some stuff, but how do you sum up a day like that where so much goes on and you get a win on top of it?
Well, it was the day that the Lord had made. You know, there wasn't any question about it. I could just see His fingerprints all over yesterday, and it was so much fun to be part of it. And there was more ex-football players showed up yesterday than I have seen maybe ever at a ball game at Carson-Newman. And I mean, there was hundreds of them, and this kept on coming. I did more hugging. I told Carol, my wife, that if I charged $1 a hug yesterday, I'd be a rich man. We could go eat for a couple of times without, you know. And but it was such a special time, and it was so genuine. Some of the things that I was able to say, and they were saying to me, the ex-football players, and then of course to see Mike and Cedric inducted into the Hall of Fame. I didn't get to stay the whole time, but just to know that we're honoring people like that, you know, at Carson-Newman, and then parents' time. And then if you noticed, it was a 5-minute extended halftime, and so I was able to get them out of the locker room in time to come out and hug their moms and dads when they came off the field. And I thought that had a special time to it. I watched some of the parents, how they were so glad to see their son there in his uniform, giving them a hug, you know, right before the second half started. And then of course, the Lord just really blessed us with, I've been, you know, it hadn't been an easy team to coach because of the youth and the inconsistencies, but they haven't been defiant. Not many of them have been defiant about doing what they're supposed to do. And to see them get a little payday back yesterday was very, very gratifying to me. And I think faithfulness pays off in life. And I thought yesterday was a little bit of a payday for their faithfulness, because it hadn't been an easy year for any of us. And to see them get some results, positive results yesterday, was good.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Limestone Saints, 39-25. We'll break down the first half when we come back after these messages on the Ken Sparks Show. Back on the Ken Sparks Show, the Eagles triumphant over the Limestone Saints, 39-25 on homecoming. Ken, a first half that started out with Carson-Newman's bread and butter. You run the same play, at least from my untrained eyes in the press box, 11 out of 14 times on the first drive. What was it like to assert your will on that opening possession?
Well, it was beautiful, especially when I tell you what was great to see some of them offensive linemen grow up and see at least start to grow up, and some of them defensive linemen start to grow up. And the beginning, the first drive, and the end, the 70-yard touchdown pass was a great beginning and end, you know, of that half. And defensively, we had some 3-and-outs, and we had, I think they had less than 100 yards at halftime, and it was a pretty good exhibition of playing, blocking and tackling and playing Eagle football, which we hadn't done much this year. But the first half I thought was pretty good Eagle football. The 70-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Seward. How did you come to that play at that point in time? Well, it was man coverage, and we motioned the guy to get him kind of to make an adjustment that we wanted him to make, and then we ran a post pattern, a wheel pattern behind it. And so we got some receivers that if you want to jump up there, man, we could burn you. And that's what happened, and Noah threw a perfect pass. We had thrown it earlier in the half and missed it. It was open, but we missed it, and so this time he didn't miss it. He hit him right in stride. It was beautiful.
Antonio Wimbush, Jamal Jones, Montavious Taylor. This felt like the fruition of a lot of hard labor.
Yes.
for them over the past month or so. 2 100-yard games for Taylor and Wimbush. Jamal got dinged up in the second half. He might have pushed 100 yards.
Got about 80 anyway.
Yeah, and he was 20 yards shy. What about the job of those 3 tailbacks?
Oh, I'm telling you, that's quality people. Not only talented running backs, but that's quality people. You could build a business around those 3. You could build a lot of things around those 3 because that's good people, quality people that's got good hearts. And I just wish 2 of them weren't seniors, because they're really good people. They need to be around here at least 10 more years.
You talked about the offensive line growing. For a fan who might not know the intricacies of what Carson-Newman football does, how can they tell, aside from, you're averaging 6 yards a carry, what's something that they could notice that lets them know that the offensive line has improved a little bit?
Well, that the line of scrimmage moves that way and not this way, that it moves toward the opponent, not toward us. That's number one. Number 2 is how many people have got a helmet on them. And, if you don't get a helmet on somebody, in the way we run our offense, and we're probably in trouble. And most of the time, except for the fumble, we moved the line of scrimmage. And most of the time, we had helmet on helmet. We were letting a backside linebacker get free a few times, but Coach Turner and the coaches and the players got over there and got that adjusted, and it was a whole lot better. In fact, I saw Coach Turner after the game, and we watched a little video, just a minute or 2, and we were celebrating the fact that one of our freshman offensive linemen came out and knocked a linebacker down. And and that's progress, because most kids when they get here have done this blocking.
Yeah.
Whereas we do this, and so, but they're getting it. They're starting to get it, and gosh, it's a talented group. When we do get it, it's going to be fun.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Saints. We take a look at the first half highlights.
On play 14 of the drive, Zuber takes, and the Eagles punch it in. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. A methodical 14-play scoring drive, capped off with the 1-yard run, and the Eagles have the opening advantage, 6-0. Quad wideouts to each direction, ball equidistant between the hashes. Corbin claps his hands, takes the snap. Blitz comes, pressure, steps up. Corbin twisting around, and he'll get sacked in the backfield, back at the 37. Zaheem Stupart and Montel Presley come through late and finish him off, but the play developed thanks to the rushes from the edges. Corbin loses 2 yards, and the Saints forced to punt after 5 plays. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles after a Taylor run. Suber takes, throws the quick hitter over the middle of the field. That's complete to Lonnie Williams in Limestone territory at the 40. He meanders his way down the right hash mark to the 35 before Callahan grips him from behind. From the right hash, a 32-yarder for Carson Wise. He's 5 for 8 this season on kicks. King's hold is down. Wise's kick is whirly-gigging its way through the uprights. Carson Wise, 6 in favor of CN, 6:09 left in the second. Zuber back to pass. Once the screen right side, complete to Taylor. Taylor evades a man in the backfield. He's down the right sideline. Picks up the first down across the 30 and 25, and forced out of bounds by Tyler Robertson. And P.J. Brown down at the 23-yard line. Merstenson Eagles left hash at their own 29-yard line. 45 seconds to play. Zuber back to pass. Wants it over the middle of the field for Seward. Seward got it at the 20, over the shoulder. Seward to the house. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. Oh boy, 71 yards through the air. The Eagles dial it up for Aaron Seward. And Carson-Newman with a nice haymaker before the half. 16-6, Eagles lead it over Limestone with 37 seconds left in the first half on homecoming.
Those are the first half highlights. Carson-Newman triumphant over the Limestone Saints, 39-25. Ken Sparks, a first half where you alluded to it earlier, the one fumble at times felt closer than what the score indicated, but you still head into the locker room with the lead. And again, you mentioned it earlier, got to come out early for the kids to be with their parents on Parents' Day. What was your message at the halftime break?
Well, the halftime was this game's not over, that we need to come out and play. And I think Coach Slade hollered at me, and it's 0-0 as far as I'm concerned, and he's exactly right. That's the way we try to play it. But to try to encourage them in the fact that we had done some things pretty well, but having arrived, got a whole lot of things we can do better, and that's what we talked about before we came out.
What was the crowd? What did that do for your team on homecoming? Largest crowd of the season.
Well, it's always good. It makes you feel like that you got an opportunity to share your gifts with people that are there that you hope that they can see more than just the football, that they can see some other things out of you. And it was fun at the end of the ball game to go over to the band, and they were playing a song, and our guys started dancing and singing with them. They were playing it when we was out in the middle of the field, and we decided to not come to the locker room like we normally do and just let them enjoy some of the post-game stuff. So we went over there and they played the song for us again. We sung, and of course our distinguished athletic director got in front and led us in a dance, which that is so great. Alan Morgan, I love him. He just amazing. And then they played the national anthem, and I mean not the national anthem, the Automata. And so we participated in all that, which was great to be able to do that at the last home ball game, because we hadn't experienced that all year.
Biggest shocker of the day, though, Alan Morgan still has his hips intact.
He was rocking and rolling, wasn't he? I couldn't see it. I had a bunch of people around me and talking to me, and I couldn't get to him.
I didn't realize a man of his age was capable of getting that low.
He was rocking and rolling, and so when it was over with, I got to get with him for a minute, but we couldn't talk because he couldn't breathe. It was funny. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it was great just to see him be part of it. I mean, that's beautiful.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Limestone Saints on homecoming. We'll break down the second half when we come back after this on the Ken Sparks Show. Welcome back on the Ken Sparks Show. The Eagles triumphant on homecoming over the Limestone Saints, 39-25. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Ken Sparks. Ken, a second half where Limestone wasn't going to go quietly. Outscored you 19-7 in the third quarter, but 15 unanswered from your club in the fourth to get the win. What was the turning point there in the second half?
Well, of course, we turned the ball over. We turned it over twice, and it cost us 2 touchdowns. And that's what Limestone had done all year. We'll give them credit. Unbelievable what they've done over there with that program. And, they'd led the nation in turnovers caused, and they led the nation in points off of turnovers and the defensive scores. And so we added to their statistic there early in the once in the first half, and then threw an interception right there at the start of the second half. And they got a couple of big plays on us, and we had breakdowns defensively. And so all at once, it's 25-24. Our little halftime lead, was gone.
Yeah.
And so we had to fight back, and thank goodness our kids knew how to fight back, and we answered pretty quick their second score, and it was good to see how our guys responded to that.
You look at the pick six, but immediately you march down the field. What was the message after the pick six that gave them the lead?
Well, you hope that the message is within. You hope it's in their heart. You hope that it's a group of guys that say, "Hey, guys, we're going to get this thing done." And because to be honest with you, they got a lot of memory responses that would say we can't get it done. Mm-hmm. And for them to say, we're not going to, we're going on character and we're going to get it done, and they did a great job with it.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Saints, and we take a look at the second half highlights.
3rd and 7 Saints. Corbin wants the quick hitter. And that is hit into the air off of Jefferson. And Lane Bloom sneaks in. Tip drill, he's got the pick. Lane Bloom, a diving interception. 6 to go for the Eagles with the Saints 19. Ball toward the left half. Zuber takes, option to the right, pitch to Wimbush. Wimbush to the 15 and 10. Wimbush streaking to the end zone. He leaps, and he's in. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. Antonio Wimbush goes horizontal to get into pay dirt. And the Eagles push the lead back past 10. It's 23-12 over the Saints with 7:46 left in the third quarter. Wide, 2 to the wide side right. Snead all by his lonesome to the short side left. Now Wimbush comes out of the backfield, goes to the wide side right. Zuber back to pass. Throws. Complete to DeBose at the 12. DeBose along the right hashes. Sprints into the end zone. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. Darby A. DeBose shed P.J. Brown at the 5 and rolled his way into the end zone for 6. Eagles back on top, 30-25. Grips go to the wide side left. A lone man comes to the short side right. That's Vincent Smith. Corbin in the pistol. Takes the snap, play fake. Eagles bring pressure up the middle, and they overwhelm him. Corbin sacked in the backfield by Saheem Stupart. A loss of 8, back to the 33. Zuber under center, takes on 1st and 10. Get on the dive to Jamal Jones. First free of a tackler at the 45. Into Saints territory, and he goes between the hashes and brought down at the 40 of Limestone. P.J. Brown, the touchdown-saving tackle on a 27-yard run for Jamal Jones. Misdirection got the Saints that time. And Taylor, the split backs with DeBose out to the right and Miller to the bottom. Handoff Wimbush right side on a trap. Wimbush with a second effort. No signal yet. There it is. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. A trap for Wimbush, and he has his second rushing touchdown of the day.
Those are the second half highlights as Carson-Newman gets the win over the Saints on homecoming 39-25. When we come back, it's time for our Eagles Spotlight, and Eric Kane will put it on running back Jamal Jones. Back on the Ken Sparks Show, Carson-Newman victorious on homecoming over the Limestone Saints 39-25. Each week we put our Eagles Spotlight on one Carson-Newman football player, and this week Eric Kane shines it on Carson-Newman running back Jamal Jones.
Carson-Newman football coach Ken Sparks said when healthy, Jamal Jones is everything he looks for in a football player. The senior's been a 4-year contributor for the Eagles on the football field, but various injuries and setbacks have halted what could have been a storied career. Now in his senior campaign, Jones looks to finish this season off on a high note. Throughout his career, the Chattanooga, Tennessee native has suffered from hamstring, ankle, and shoulder injuries. With a combination of these injuries year in and year out, Jones has found it hard to consistently stay on the field, but noted that it was all a part of a higher plan.
It's real frustrating, but the thing is just having faith and just knowing God has your back no matter what, and just perseverance through any situation. I really think my injury situations are going to really help me after football.
Carson-Newman assistant Nick Rivez coached Jones on the offense side of the football for 3 seasons and has acknowledged the journey the running back has been on and the obstacles he has had to overcome.
It's been fun to watch Jamal, even as a physical appearance. He came in with dreads and I remember that first day of running in July, he was dying, throwing up, and now you see him, as a leader, just in every way possible. Coach Sparks was talking to us as a coaching staff this morning about it. We don't choose this route of life or, this path to be injured, and that's what's happened to Jamal. He's had things that he's tried to control him as best as he can, but the cards that were dealt to him, weren't great. So I think he's done a really good job of responding to it in the correct way. Sometimes the cards were dealt, we don't like them, but regardless, we play them in order to glorify our Father. So I think Jamal's been a really good example in that.
When on the field, the Bruiser has been a force to be reckoned with. The running back has totaled 14 career touchdowns to date while splitting time with a number of talented backs. 2016 has been no different, as Jones, along with senior Montavious Taylor and sophomore Antonio Wimbush, has given Carson-Newman the ability to utilize a three-man rotation in the backfield.
Every day we go out there, we push each other, and when one guy's tired, the next guy comes in, and we know that guy isn't going to miss a beat. So we really call ourselves the three-headed monster. So, I mean, it's been a real pleasure playing with Wimbush and Montavious because they're just as good a back as I am.
Throughout his first 2 seasons at the Creek, Wimbush has certainly benefited from playing alongside Jones and says the senior is certainly an encouragement on a daily basis.
We always just keep it real with each other. If we're not blocking, if we need to pick it up some in practice or in the games, we talk about it. So, I mean, just playing together as one. He lets me know, like, you got to go. You know, this is your time. You got to go. And you know, just picking up from where he left off is pretty much what I've been doing.
As the running back senior season winds to a close, Jones notes that perseverance is a trait that was instilled early on during his career and is something that he will continue to take with him throughout all of life's journeys.
The coaches kept on me about perseverance and having faith in God and just sticking with it, and I'm really gonna take that with me after football and in life.
Despite all the injuries, Sparks acknowledged that Jones will consistently give you everything he has, and that in itself has positioned the back into having a successful senior campaign. For the Ken Sparks Show, I'm Eric Kane.
All right, thank you very much, Eric Kane and Ken Sparks. Jamal Jones, what a guy. He married already,
Yes.
and now set to become a father. What a football player, but what a man.
Yeah, he's a great success story, and because of his perseverance and his willingness to overcome some mistakes, some that he's had something to do with, and some that he hadn't had anything to do with, and to see him be so excited last week when we got to celebrate his first sonogram, and to see the baby wiggling, and what a great thing to be able to share with these guys, because in this world, in our society, it says live with somebody, have babies, and then maybe one of these days get married. And it's great to see Jamal do it the right way. We're get married and then have babies. I think there's something about that.
Yeah.
I think there's something about that plan that fits in a way that God can bless it.
Ken Sparks, pleasure as always. Congrats on the homecoming victory.
Good victory, thank you.
That is Carson-Newman head football coach Ken Sparks. This has been the Ken Sparks Show. And the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier. Be sure to join the broadcast on Saturday from Tigerville, South Carolina, when the Eagles take on the Crusaders at 1. Again, this has been the Ken Sparks Show. Thanks for watching.